Mirko Filipović, born 10 September 1974, known by the nickname Mirko Cro Cop, is a Croatian mixed martial artist, former kickboxer and amateur boxer. He currently competes in Bellator as part of their heavyweight division and is mostly known for his time in Pride Fighting Championships. Cro Cop has also fought for the UFC and RIZIN. Cro Cop is the 2006 Pride Openweight Grand Prix champion, the 2012 K1 World Grand Prix champion and the 2016 RIZIN Openweight Grand Prix champion, becoming the second fighter in the world to win mixed martial arts and kickboxing championships and tournaments. He is also a former IGF champion. His nickname, Cro Cop, short for Croatian Cop, comes from his membership in the Luko Anti-Terrorist Unit, Croatia's elite police special forces tactical unit. Cro Cop's signature move was his lightning-quick left high kick, once famously described as right leg, hospital left leg, cemetery. He was a successful amateur boxer and medaled numerous times in international competition, and was also a member of Croatia's world team when he competed at the 1997 Amateur Boxing World Championships. From 23 December 2003 until of January 2008 he served as a member of the Croatian parliament for the 1st electoral district. He was elected as an independent candidate on the list of the Social Democratic Party. Filipović was born on 10 September 1974 in Vinkovci in eastern Croatia, then part of the Socialist Federal Republic Yugoslavia. He was raised in a working-class family with his sister, who is 3 years his senior. Mirko grew up training in track and field, namely the shorter distance events 100 meters, 200 meters, and 400 meters dashes. After seeing Jean-Claude Van Damme's performance in the film Bloodsport, he began training in his parents' garage with his father's boxing equipment and weights. His father, who worked as an electrician for a railway company, fashioned his son a crude but effective punching bag filled with sand and cotton, and would bring home track scraps for Mirko to use for weight training. Cro Cop began formal training in Taekwondo at the age of 7 and later studied karate. Filipovic's father died in 1994 when Mirko was 19 years old and after Cro Cop had joined the Croatian army as a radio telegraphist. The year before, after writing a request to the commander of his military base to train with the Croatian national kickboxing team, his request was approved. The colonel told Filipović, "I don't think you will be a special soldier, but I believe you will be a good fighter one day. So you don't have to learn with the radio telegraphists. I release you and I want you to train twice a day. And I want you to make your country and your homeland proud one day." Filipović described this as one of the best days of his life. After this, he embarked on a career in professional kickboxing, and defeated Jerme Le Banner in his debut. After losing to Ernesto Hoost in his next kickboxing match, he turned his attention back to amateur boxing and his law enforcement career. He had success in both areas as a 3-time national amateur boxing champion and later joined the Luko Anti-Terrorist Unit where he served for 6 years until he was elected to the Croatian parliament. A martial arts enthusiast since his youth, Filipović started his professional career in 1996 as a kickboxer, following in the footsteps of his compatriot Branko Sikati. Before turning pro, he had accumulated an amateur boxing record of 488 31 KOs. Filipović took part in the 1997 World Amateur Boxing Championships, losing his first-round matchup against Olympic medalist Alexei Lezin. At the time, he was working as a commando in the Croatian Police Anti-Terrorist Unit Alpha stationed in Luko near Zagreb, which earned him his nickname Cro Cop. He fought several times early in his career under the nickname Tigar, Croatian for tiger. In 2001, Filipović began his switch to fighting in Pride, citing personal challenge as well as dissatisfaction with K1 salaries. A year later, he also left his job at the anti-terrorist unit in order to focus fully on his martial arts career. Cro Cop's first 6 professional MMA fights were in K1 2001 GP Final, Pride FC and the New Year's events Inoki Bombay. He defeated veterans Kazuyuki Fujita twice and Japanese legend Kazushi Sakuraba, while drawing with Nobuhiko Takada and reigning Pride middleweight champion Vanderlei Silva. Now fighting exclusively in Pride, Cro Cop's 7th MMA fight was against former title challenger Heath Herring, who sported a 208 record and had gone the distance with current champion Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira in addition to fighting Suntoby champion Fedor Emelianenko, against whom he lost when the doctor had to stop the fight after the first round. Cro Cop defeated Herring via body kick and punches 3 minutes into the fight. In his 8th fight, he became the first fighter to defeat legendary striker Igor Vovchanchyn by KO with his trademark head kick. This was witnessed as a passing of the torch in the heavyweight division, as Vovchanchyn went on a decline and Cro Cop continued his run at the heavyweight title. Cro Cop then defeated Dos Caras Jr. via head kick KO in 46 seconds, and then told the fans that he would see them in his next fight for the title against Fedor Emelianenko. After a contractual dispute between Pride and Fedor Emelianenko, Pride matched up Cro Cop against former champion Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira for the Pride Interim Heavyweight Championship. Cro Cop dominated early in the stand-up, even knocking Nogueira down at the end of the round, which prompted Yuji Shimada to wave the fight off, but the bell had already rung. At the start of the second round, Cro Cop was taken down, mounted and eventually submitted via armbar in the second round, suffering the first loss of his career. After the loss to Nogueira, Cro Cop scored back-to-back first-round TKOs of Ron Waterman and Yoshihisa Yamamoto. It was after these performances that he was drawn into the bracket of the 2004 Heavyweight Grand Prix. In what was seen as the biggest upset in recent history at the time, Cro Cop was KO'd by former UFC heavyweight champion Kevin Randleman at 157 of the very first round, being eliminated in the opening round of the tournament where he was favored to be a finalist or even win it all. It was after this tournament that Cro Cop went on a 7-fight win streak from May 23, 2004 until June 26, 2005. He began by fighting 1 month after the loss to Randleman, against Hiromitsu Kanehara, a seasoned rings veteran. Cro Cop won by a unanimous decision, the second decision victory of his career. He then knocked out Shunga Oyama 2 months later in 1 minute. A month after that, Cro Cop scored a head kick knockout 2 minutes into his fight with Alexander Emelianenko. Brother of the champion. Staying busy, Cro Cop defeated former UFC heavyweight champion and reigning king of Pancrase Josh Barnett 2 months later at Pride 28, when Barnett injured his shoulder only 46 seconds into the fight. 2 months after that, Cro Cop avenged his loss to Randleman by guillotine choke at Pride's New Year show. After defeating Randleman, Cro Cop stated that he wished to fight former UFC heavyweight champion and Pride 2000 Grand Prix champion Mark Coleman. In the pre-fight interviews, Coleman repeatedly stated that he was going to take Cro Cop down and pound him out, while Cro Cop said there's no way he would be taken down and that he would defeat Coleman. At Pride 29, Cro Cop stuffed every single one of Coleman's takedown attempts, staggered Coleman with straight lefts before knocking him out at 340 of the first round. Cro Cop had defeated 3 former UFC heavyweight champions back-to-back, and said in the ring after defeating Coleman, "I'm still standing, and I'm still waiting for a title fight. Emelianenko Fedor, you are next." Cro Cop faced Emelianenko's teammate, Ibragim Magomedov at Pride Critical Countdown 2005. Winning by a body kick TKO in the first round, his 6th first-round finish in a row. Emelianenko cornered Magomedov for this fight, and after the fight, stepped into the ring and shook hands with Cro Cop as the two posed with the championship belt. Cro Cop finally received a chance to fight Fedor for the Pride Heavyweight Championship. The highly anticipated match between Emelianenko and Cro Cop finally took place at Pride Final Conflict 2005. In the first round, Cro Cop stunned and broke Emelianenko's nose with 2 quick straight left hands. He discolored Fedor's midsection with powerful body kicks. Emelianenko was then able to get the fight to the ground and land several body shots, which took a lot of gas out of Cro Cop. As the fight progressed, Emelianenko became more and more dominant, winning most of the stand-up exchanges and scoring several takedowns. After 20 minutes, Emelianenko was awarded a unanimous decision victory. The fight was awarded Fight of the Year by MMA Fighting.com and Fight of the Decade by Sports Illustrated. After the loss to Emelianenko, Cro Cop defeated Josh Barnett at Pride 30 by what some saw as a close and controversial unanimous decision, and then dropped a split decision loss to hard-hitting K1 veteran Mark Hunt at Pride Shockwave 2005. Coming into the 2006 Openweight Grand Prix, Cro Cop TKO'd 2 Japanese legends, Pancrase veteran Ikuhisa Manoa in the opening round, and 1992 Olympic judo gold medalist Hidehiko Yoshida in the quarterfinal. On his 32nd birthday, he met Vanderlei Silva at Pride Final Conflict Absolute in the semi-finals, where he put on one of his best performances, defeating the middleweight champion with his trademark head kick knockout. This put him in the final against Josh Barnett, a fighter whom he would face for the third time in his career. After exchanging in the stand-up, Cro Cop was able to posture in Barnett's guard, landing many punches. At 732 of the first round, Barnett tapped to strikes, earning Cro Cop his first belt in his MMA career, the Pride 2006 Openweight Grand Prix Championship. When Pride president Nobuyuki Sakakibara placed the belt around Cro Cop's waist, Cro Cop broke down in tears and addressed the crowd in attendance, saying, "This is the happiest day in my life. It's my 32nd birthday. And I want to thank all my fans in the arena, and all around the world for supporting me during my career. I love you, thank you." Many have cited the performances that night as Cro Cop's finest, leading Vanderlei Silva's trainer, Rudimar Federigo, to say, "That was Mirko's day. He fought 2 perfect fights, and I believe even Fedor could lose to him on that night." Josh Barnett would later say, despite facing top fighters like Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, Randy Couture, Frank Mir and Andrei Arlovsky, that Cro Cop was the best fighter he ever faced in his career. After winning the belt, Cro Cop revealed some more of his emotions behind the victory in the backstage interview with Frank Trigg. "All I can say is this is the happiest day of my life. Definitely. I was waiting for this for 10 long years, and finally I knew that I'm the best. But some circumstances just didn't let me do that. To go to the end. And I proved to all the people who were talking that I'm finished, that I'm done after Fedor's fight, that I am number 1. Believe it or not. And I swear with everything I got. I told myself, if I don't take this belt, it will be my last MMA fight in my life. I would quit fighting, I swear. And that's why I said, now or never. And plus I was training like never before, and I was motivated, and I knew this is it. There is no bad blood between us, myself and Silva. I would like to know how he is. And I would like to shake hands with him. That's all. I have nothing against him, really. But I told you before, he is just acting weird and he refused any kind of contact. But I'm not mad at Vanderlei. I don't hate him. I respect him as a fighter. And I would like to see him if he's still here. I'm very happy. This is the day of my life. And I'm only sorry for one thing, that my father couldn't live long enough to see my success. He died 12 years ago, and I dedicate this belt for my father." After his victory at the 2006 Openweight Grand Prix, a rematch between Cro Cop and Fedor Emelianenko failed to materialize, and on December 12, 2006, Cro Cop pulled out of the New Year's Eve event, citing both a foot injury and Emelianenko's commitment to meet Mark Hunt at the card in question. Through his official website, Cro Cop revealed, "I still can't kick like I want to. It's the best that we give more time to this injury to heal. I want to be in perfect shape for my next fights." Cro Cop has often been cited as being one member of the Holy Trinity of Pride, alongside Rodrigo Nogueira and Emelianenko. These 3 heavyweights were considered anywhere between number 13 at any point in time between 20,032,007, and are often looked at as the golden age of MMA. In December 2006, rumors began to surface about Cro Cop entertaining offers from other mixed martial arts organizations. The Ultimate Fighting Championship was one of the promotions that Cro Cop confirmed came forward with an offer. Rumors continued to circulate about Cro Cop's future with the Pride FC organization, and media websites were reporting that Cro Cop had chosen the UFC for his future. It was announced during the pay-per-view of UFC 66 that Cro Cop indeed signed with the UFC. Cro Cop made his UFC debut at UFC 67 on Saturday, February 3, which featured fellow debutants and future UFC champions Quinton Jackson, Lyoto Machida and Frankie Edgar, stopping the undefeated prospect Eddie Sanchez by TKO at 433 of the very first round. Average betting for this fight was around $1,200 for Cro Cop and $800 for Eddie Sanchez, the biggest gap for underdog favorite in UFC history. It has been speculated that the reason Cro Cop did not receive an immediate title shot despite being ranked 2 across many media outlets was due to his lack of popularity with the UFC audience. Although he had not completely retired, Cro Cop considered that his days with the UFC, and possibly MMA, were finished. He announced that he would return to kickboxing to fight at Cro Cop Final Fight 2012 at the Zagreb Arena on 10 March 2012. Mirko defeated Ray Sefo by unanimous decision. Cro Cop fought on 27 May 2012 at K1 World Max 2012 World Championship Tournament Final 16 in Madrid, Spain against Lauren Javier Jorge, winning by knockout in the second round with a left uppercut. He faced Randy Blake at the K1 World Grand Prix 2012 in Tokyo Final 16 on 14 October 2012. In the third round, after a break and restart, Cro Cop attempted to apologize for a late uppercut, failing to put his hands up to defend and leading to a straight punch by Blake that resulted in a knockdown. Despite this incident, Cro Cop was able to outfight the American en route to a majority decision win. He was scheduled to fight at Cro Cop Final Fight 2013 on 15 March 2013 in Zagreb, and expressed his desire to face Ji-Kon Sake. The event was then merged with the K1 World Grand Prix 2012 final, and was the first K1 World Grand Prix held outside of Japan. He faced American boxer Yarrell Miller in the quarter-finals, where the panel of judges awarded Cro Cop a unanimous decision 2,928, 2,928, and 3,027 due to Cro Cop landing more significant strikes. He advanced to the semi-finals, where he outpointed Pavel Zuravlev to another unanimous decision. In the final, he fought Ismail Lant and floored the Suriname fighter with his patented left high kick in round 2 en route to yet another unanimous decision victory to win the tournament, 13 years after he had finished as runner-up in 1999. He lost to Remy Bonjasky by a widely disputed majority decision in a rematch at Glory 14 Zagreb in Zagreb on March 8, 2014. He was set to rematch Pat Barry at Glory 17 Los Angeles in Inglewood, California on 21 June 2014, but Barry withdrew from the fight for undisclosed reasons and was replaced by Sergei Kharitonov. Kharitonov then also withdrew, however, and was replaced by Yarrell Miller. Cro Cop won the rematch, against Yarrell Miller, by unanimous decision. On 8 August 2012, news came that Cro Cop had said that he would like to return to MMA, and on December 31, 2012 he made his comeback against former sumo wrestler and MMA newcomer Shinichi Suzukawa at Inoki Bombay 2012 in Tokyo, Japan. He won the fight by submission due to an armbar at 118 of the first round. Cro Cop was expected to rematch with Alexander Emelianenko in October or November 2013 in Russia. On 25 October 2013, it was reported that Emelianenko had been accused of assaulting a 63-year-old man in a bar. The fight organizer terminated the contract with Emelianenko and announced that Cro Cop would face a different opponent from Russia. Cro Cop eventually faced Oleksiy Oleinik, who replaced Emelianenko, on 8 November 2013 at Legends 2 in Moscow. He lost the fight by submission in the first round. On 23 August 2014, Cro Cop defeated former 2008 Olympic judo gold medalist Satoshi Ishii via doctor stoppage at an Inoki Genome Federation event in Japan to win the IGF championship. Cro Cop was expected to fight Satoshi Ishii in a rematch on 31 December 2014 for the IGF championship. However, the rematch was cancelled due to a rib injury sustained by Ishii. Cro Cop stayed on the card and a new matchup was being sought for a brief period. On 1 December, it was reported that Ishii would be able to heal up in time to take the fight, and the rematch was official once again. Cro Cop defeated Ishii via TKO, landing a head kick and follow-up punches just as the second round was coming to a close. Ishii was unable to make it to his corner under his own power, forcing the referee to call an end to the fight. Following his return to UFC, Cro Cop was stripped of the IGF championship on January 23, 2015. A pure sprawl and brawl fighter, Cro Cop focused his game on his kickboxing acumen and skill to avoid fighting on the ground. He made use of powerful yet technical striking, epitomized by his famous left roundhouse kick to the head, sometimes combined with a fast left straight punch in order to open position. Despite the relative predictability of his technique, Cro Cop was able to hit it consistently by speed and timing, gaining 27 KO/TKO wins in his career, of which 4 were by head kick alone. Towards the end of his career, his signature left high kick became more and more anticipated by his opponents, with Cro Cop even saying once, "Everybody is studying my fights. It's harder and harder to land the high kick. Everybody is expecting the high kick. It's much easier to do it at the beginning of your career." On the other hand, his defense featured a signature left sidestep used to avoid his adversary's lunges and a solid ability to sprawl, having stopped takedowns from Olympian-caliber wrestlers such as Mark Coleman, Olympic judoka champions like Hidehiko Yoshida, Wrestling champions like Kazuyuki Fujita or veteran wrestlers like Heath Herring and judoka and samboist Alexander Emelianenko. Though always focused on striking, Cro Cop developed ground fighting skills over time, being adept in fighting from his back and recovering the standing position. His persona has inspired many newer generation fighters, notably Demetrius Johnson, who once referred to Cro Cop after his record-breaking title defense, saying, "There was a long time ago in Pride Mirko Cro Cop Filipović. It was his birthday. And he had that look on his face like nobody was going to take that championship away from him. That's how I felt Saturday. I felt like no one was going to take this away from me." Cro Cop and his wife have 2 sons. In the 200,405 season of the Croatian Second Football League, Cro Cop played for his hometown football club, HNK Sabelja, participating in the final 8 minutes of a match against HNK Vukovar.